जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी गिरिवरधारी गोपीधर वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी श्री राधा माधव की, श्री राधा कालचंद जी की, श्री श्री गौर निताई की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की, कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः. Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning. All the questions can be kept here. This is the 8th canto, 7th chapter, text number 44. Tapyante lokatapena Tapyante lokatapena Sadhavah prayasho janaha Paramaradhanam tadhi Purushasya kilatmanaha Tapyante lokatapena Sadhavah prayasho janaha Paramaradhanam tadhi Purushasya kilatmanaha Tapyante lokatapena Sadhavah prayasho janaha Paramaradhanam tadhi Purushasya kilatmanaha
Tapyante lokatapena Sadhavasrayeshu janaha
Paramaradhanam
tadhi Purushasya kilatmanaha
Tapyante lokatapene
Tapyante
Lokatapena
sadhavah prayasho janaha
Sadhavaprayeshu janaha
paramaradhanam tadhi
Paramaradhanam tadhi
purushasya kilatmanaha
Purushasya kilatmanaha Tapyante
lokatapena Sadhavaprayeshu janaha Paramaradhanam tadhi
Purushasya kilatmanaha
Tapyante lokatapena
Prayasho jana Paramaradhanam tadhi
Paramaradhanam tadhi Purushasya kilatmanaha
Tapyante lokatapena
Tapyante lokatapena
Sadhavaprayeshu janaha Paramaradhanam tadhi
Purushasya kilatmanaha. Mataji side, yeah. Yes.
Tapyante lokatapena
Sadhava prayasho jana
Paramaradhanam tadhi
Purushasya kilatmanaha. Yeah, anybody else? You want to try?
तप्यन्ते लोकतापेन साधवः प्रायशो जनाः
Paramaradhanam tadde Purushasya Kilatmana. Very good. The very important verse it is. Tapyante lokatapena sadhava prayasho janaha
परमाराधनं तद्धि पुरुषस्य किलात्मनः.
Okay, very good. By now, most of you memorized the verse. Huh? It's a very important verse. One of you can help me read the translation, please? You can take this mic, Prabhu.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It is said that great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. This is considered the highest method of worshipping the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, who is present in everyone's heart. Purpose? Here is an explanation of how those engaged in activities for welfare of others are very quickly recognized by the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 18.68 and 69, Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakteshu abhidashyati nacha tasmanam manusheshu kashin me priya kritamaha. One who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees is most dear to me. No one can excel him in satisfying me by worship. There are different kinds of welfare activities in this material world, but the supreme welfare activity is the spreading of Krishna consciousness. Other welfare activities cannot be effective, but the laws of nature and the results of karma cannot be checked. It is by destiny or the laws of karma that one must suffer or enjoy. For instance, if one is given a court order, he must accept it, whether it brings suffering or profit. Similarly, everyone is under obligations to karma and its reactions. No one can change this. Therefore, the Shastra says, Tasaiva hetoho prayatet kovido na labhyate yad brahmatma upari adaha. Bhagavatam 1.5.18. One should endeavor for that which is never obtained by wandering up and down the universe as a result of the reactions of karma. What is that? One should endeavor to become Krishna conscious. If one tries to spread Krishna consciousness all over the world, he should be understood to be performing the best welfare activity. The Lord is automatically very pleased with him. If the Lord is pleased with him, what is left for him to achieve? If one has been recognized by the Lord, even if he does not ask the Lord for anything, the Lord who is within everyone supplies him whatever he wants. This is also confirmed in Bhagavad Gita. Desham nityabhi yuktanam yogakshemam vayami aham. Again, as stated here, tapyante lokatapena sadhavaha prayasho janaha. The best welfare activity is raising people to the platform of Krishna consciousness. Since the conditioned soul are suffering only for the want of Krishna consciousness, the Lord Himself also comes to mitigate the suffering of humanity. Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata abhyutanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya sadashkritam dharmasam stapanathaya sambhavami yoge yoge. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of religion, at the time I descend myself to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion. I myself appear millennium after millennium. Bhagavad Gita 4.7 and 8. All the Shastras conclude, therefore, that spreading the Krishna consciousness movement is the best welfare activity in the world. Because of the ultimate benefit this bestows upon people in general, the Lord very quickly recognizes such service performed by a devotee.
So very happy to be here at Dallas. at the home of Daujinta Prabhu and his wonderful family. Early morning, so many of you have come for the lecture. Thank you for your presence for the Srimad Bhagavatam. The first step in human life is to recognize that we are living in a world where our life is punctuated by a mixture of pleasure and suffering, pleasure and pain. Those who are conscious human beings, they can very nicely observe this. Like, for example, when a child is born, in our villages and all, we used to never go to school till age of 6 or so. Nowadays, children go to school at 3, I think. Correct, no? Pre-nursery or something. So, we used to play at home, also go with grandfather to the riverside and go to the mango orchard, eat mangoes, go in the bullock carts. So, we used to have a lot of fun. So, when I became six, I had to go to school. I didn't know what a school was at that time. We thought we will always live in the lap of the mother. Suddenly, one day, mother put on the uniform, blue and white, socks and shoe and everything. I asked, "What is this new dress today?" She said, "Something special today." Then she picked me up and took me to the bus stop and handed me over to one conductor who was having khaki dress with a big mustache. She handed me over to him, and that fellow put me inside the bus and closed the door. Third. I was shocked why mother did this. And as I was crying loudly, mother was smiling and saying like this. I was shocked how she handed me over to somebody else. And I, of course, punched on the conductor's chest also a few times. And he shouted, "Hey, keep quiet, sit down." So, of course, we went to school and then all day in the school. And then evening when I came back, mother was there again to receive me at the bus stop. So, then I told her all the story about the school, what all happened in the school. And I asked her, "Why you came with this man?" Then I thought actually school means in the entire life you have to go only one day. And then I also thought that one day is also over now. I thought just for fun mother did that, I thought. But then next day morning, again she was dressing me in the same uniform. I was again asking, "Hey, today again you are going to take me?" She said, no, I'm just going to take you to park. Just we will drink some air and come. Go to park, come. You can see the birds, you can see the trees. We'll just go for fun and come. So she went to the park, and from the park she took me to the bus stop again. She tricked me. And again she handed me over to the same fellow. So why am I telling you this? Do you think a small child in the lap of the mother likes to be separated from the mother? Never. The child wants to be with the mother always. But it is a painful thing for us to be separated to where to go to school, isn't it? And then when you go to school again and again and again, daily you have to go carrying the book bag and studying in the school period after period. Although it is a strenuous study, as you go to 7th, 8th, 9th standard, many parents nowadays are very much worried about the academics of the children. They want them to crack the exams and get a first rank in the class, and a lot of expectation, isn't it? Yeah. Like one day when I saw a toy in a shop of an aeroplane toy, it was having colorful lights, cling, 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 and very nice sounds it was making. I told my father, "Let's go inside the shop and see it, not just from the window. Let's go inside and see. Let us take it out and see." So they took out and showed us. In those days, it was 2,000 rupees. It was very costly. My father said, "Hey, this is too costly. We should not spend so much on a toy. It will just break." But I was very adamant. At any cost, I wanted that plane. And my father said, "Now we have to go home now." I said, "You go home, I'm going to sit here." Why am I saying? On one hand, in this world, we are having some sufferings of separation from mother to go to school, I was telling you. Besides the pains, we also have a hankering for enjoyment also. Simultaneously, very surprising. You are suffering. That is why the example is given in Mahabharata. Once when a fellow was running in the forest chased by a tiger, he fell into a well, isn't it? And when he fell into a well, he was holding on to a branch. And that branch was, cut by two rats. Like this, that? Two rats. Which means after the two rats cut fully, the whole branch will fall down, correct? No? So they were white and black rats. Two rats were cutting, and he was holding on to the branch. And there were all thorny bushes also. And below in the same well, there was a black cobra. And with the bloodshot eyes, it was opening the mouth so that this fellow can go straight into his mouth. Like Ajgar, no? Like that. So, and this fellow looked at the top, and the tiger was peeping out. He was also watching. Maybe if this man, due to all the troubles, will come out and I can eat him. So, in the top there is tiger, in the bottom there is cobra, and then there are a lot of thorny bushes which are scratching his body. It's bleeding also. At that time, when he was screaming, he was screaming, one drop of honey fell in his tongue. From one honeycomb was there in the well. And it was dripping. Like that. Like that one drop was coming. And this fellow, having gotten the honey, forgot all the problems. Huh? Oh, money is honey, you say, no? Huh? So he got attracted to that. So in the Mahabharata, this example is given to show, on one hand, we are all suffering, on the other hand, we have attachments and attractions in this world. And those attractions and attachments produce further misery for us. You will see that. For example, I was attached to the aeroplane. Then my father tried to pacify me, and then he told me, okay, you get first rank in the class, you will get this aeroplane. He said. I said, wow, that's very good. At least you have given some hope now. So I went home. I studied. I was in the 5th or 6th rank at that time. Now I pushed my rank up. After 6 months, I got first rank. I took my progress report, ran to my father, and put it in front of him. See this. He asked me, what is the matter? I said, I got first rank. Then he patted me and said, good boy. I said, what good boy? Aeroplane. Good boy is all right, but you have to give me aeroplane now. Which means we all develop not only attraction for getting something, we develop attachment. What is the difference between attraction and attachment? Attraction is superficial. It's just a new thing building up. Whereas attachment is what? Attachment means you cannot live without it. You are adamantly attached to it. So which is more deeper? Attachment. Not just attraction, it's attachment. So I was attached to that. And then he at last gave me one. He purchased and gave. Repeatedly, we keep sending it, playing with that. And after some time, it just wears off, breaks, isn't it? All the things are like that in the world. So you will see that childhood goes in playing with toys like that. After that, there is tension of studies and getting into college and everything. And then in case you got into some good college, if not this college, at least this, at least this, at least this. There is anxiety. But after getting in, it's not that life is going to be cool any further. There is a lot of tension about studies. Later on in the final year, there is tension of getting job. And after getting job, there is tension of getting promotion. Whether you'll get promotion or not. Then after you got promotion, you went up high scale, now you became 33, 34. Yesterday I was asking one boy, hey, your parents are concerned about your marriage. How old are you? He said, I'm 33 now. He's not getting a suitable match and getting settled. Nowadays people marry at 33, 35, 38 also they marry. Very late, they're not getting match. If one is not getting match, there is a tension. But after getting a match, there is another tension that the match should be proper also. Because both the parties are entering into married life with a lot of fear that the other person should not exploit me. That's the fear. But somehow or other, by God's grace, one got a good spouse. Family is a happy family. But 5 years passed with no children. Some people have no children. All colleagues are asking, you don't have any children? 5 years passed. And they go to different holy places. They go to different doctors. And then go roam and round and round and round. At last, after 6, 7 years, they may get one child. So when you get a child, you are very happy. But then when the child starts growing, a lot of tension. Child goes to kitchen, touches the fire, picks up the knife, or puts the cooker weight in the mouth. So many problems. There's a lot of tension. So you will see that at every phase of life in this world, that these two things you will see. One is there is some suffering which is lingering in the background. One by one it keeps coming. In installments, it keeps coming. That's why I told you life is punctured with sufferings. So at the same time, there is also hankering for enjoyment. In childhood, we have hankering for toys. In teenage, we have hankering for that type of teenage association of the opposite sex. Then in married life, there is a hankering for wealth. And then after you cross some years in the job, then there's hankering for position, post, and honor, and prestige, and status in society. So there is always suffering on one hand and hankering on the other. Uh, so shochati and kankshati. Kankshati is hankering. Shochati is lamenting. Lamenting due to suffering and hankering for enjoyment. So the hankering produces fire. And lamentation produces pain also. So there is pain in the body and pain in the mind by the lamentation. And the hankering produces heat, fire in the heart. What is that fire? Greed. There is greed. So greed burns the heart of the living entities. They're always thinking, I don't have this, he has that. No. When will I get that? So therefore you will find that hankering makes you work hard. That is actually called as Arjan dosh, we call it, or accumulation. When you have to accumulate some goods, then you have to work very hard. After accumulating, you have a fear that it should not be taken away by thieves, or should not be taken away by somebody else. So there is also a fear of losing it. Or if you don't lose it, you also tend to become proud that I am possessing it. Yeah. And then you will also see that eventually there is Kshaya dosh also. It gradually gets diminished also. Like I told you, aeroplane, I was very attracted, but eventually it broke for a bit of time. That will be finished also. And when you get an aeroplane and bring, all the other friends come, they snatch it from you. You have fear that they will take it and go away. You have to fight with them. So in this world, violence is involved between living entities in order for one to enjoy. Like tiger want to enjoy eating, but he has to cause violence to deer. Now mosquito wants for him to survive, his food is blood. For that he has to cause violence to us. Correct, no? And we want to survive from mosquito not getting malaria, so we have to take electric bat. People roast the mosquito. We cause violence to others. Correct, no? So in this world, in this way, for one's happiness, one causes violence to others. So there is hankering, there is also violence caused, there is also a lot of hard work. For accumulating goods, we have to do hard work. Many devotees in America told me, if you have to continue living in America, you have to make sure that you can hold on to the job properly. You get H1B visa and everything. The boss should be happy with you. You want to make sure boss is smiling always, so that he will not lay you off anytime. Correct, no? So for a lot of hard work is there. There is hard work, there is violence to other creatures, there is burning in the heart of hankering. And also, many times people consider saving money so that when they return to India in future years, it will be good. But somehow or other, as you pour water in a tokri in a basket, it keeps going. With money also, you keep on bringing, it just gets, how it gets spent, you wonder. Your experience of this? Holding on is very difficult. So, therefore, there is a kshaya also. Kshaya is actually the wealth gradually getting diminished, like that. So, therefore, intelligent human being means one should observe these things in the world around us. There is always suffering and hankering. What kind of life is this? You cannot live a peaceful life. Like, for example, when you get a child, you get simultaneously two things. When you look at the tender baby with a finger like a flower, it looks very sweet also. But the same child, because we are attached to the child, we are afraid that nothing harmful should happen to the child. That causes a lot of anxiety. And then after the child grows up, if one has become 10, 12, 15, then parents are worried that child is playing this video game, that video game. One father was telling me, the 3, 4 children were playing video game in another room, but the control of those games is in his hand in mobile. He's watching what all games they are playing, and he has to put a block. Don't go for this, don't go for that. Parental control you have to put for their good only. Although you are putting for their good, they are not happy. They say, I want freedom, I want challenge, I want adventure. I want to do something great. Why am I put restriction? Actually, restriction parents put for what purpose? For their good, with all good intention. You feel great pain in this world when your good intentions are misunderstood. Correct, huh? Therefore, there is some kind of friction in relationships in this world. Spark comes in that relationship. So that is even more painful to the mind. Just like we have disease for the body, the bitterness in relationship causes pain in the mind also. You can see that. Mm. Because parents, similarly, nowadays young girls, they want a lot of freedom. They are very ambitious also. They want to study and earn degrees and fly all over the world. But parents are worried. Please don't go alone. Take care. Go with somebody. Don't travel early morning or late night. Be protected. Parents are worried. But a girl may think, why are parents so much worried about me? I'm not a kid now. I am grown up. So parents are fear that a young girl should not elope with a boy. Or parents are fear that a young boy should not become a drug addict or anything. He should not get degree. He should not destroy himself. So many fears are there in this world. When you get very old, 60, 70, 80, another type of anxiety. What is it? Health anxiety. Kidney is not working properly, liver is not working properly, lungs are not working properly. Somebody get Alzheimer disease, somebody get prostate cancer, somebody gets a brain tumor. So many, somebody gets Parkinson, different kinds of things. This body is actually a body. It's called Vyadhi Mandiram. Idam shariram parinama peshalam patatyavashyam shatasandhi jarjaram kim aushadim prichasi moodha durmate niramayam krishna rasayanam piba. Like that Kulishekara is telling. Idam shariram parinama peshalam. This body is simply a body which keeps on transforming from childhood to boyhood to youth to old age. You cannot stop this transformation. Every one of us sitting here, we would like to be young, hale and healthy and fit. We go to Harinam Sankirtan in the morning in the park. There are many old 70-year-old, 80-year-old people moving their hands, different things they are doing. So that, because they want to keep the body elastic. But body is becoming more and more rigid. It's becoming like not working properly. Moving hands, legs, different, trying to breathe as much as possible oxygen. So, generally I stop in the park and speak few minutes. I tell them, no matter how much you take care of your body, you cannot stay in this body forever. So one old man came running to me and asked, why do you say like that? I heard if you do exercise, you will become healthy. I said, even if you are healthy, how long will you stay? Are you going to stay beyond 100? He agreed, oh, that is not possible. Therefore, chant Harinam. You have to quit this body. And that is, as you get old, there is fear of disease, and ultimately there is fear of death also. So, this way, beginning from childhood up to the death, it's all punctuated by sufferings. One who cannot see suffering is considered an animal. Because animals, they get beating and still they do the same thing again and again. You've seen that? Like animal goes in a hand cart and eats cauliflower or some cabbage. And that the owner of the cart in India, you can see, he takes a stick and beats the animal on the head or the body. Animal goes away. Next day he comes to the same place. Again he puts his mouth. Because he goes by instinctive pleasure. Instinctive means he just wants to enjoy that. On the other hand, imagine if any of you went to somebody's house, they showed a stick. Will you ever go? People for lifetime, they would not go. In fact, they even tell the grandsons, granddaughters also, if you go to that city, don't go to their house. We have a cross with them, correct now? So human beings are supposed to be more sensitive and more conscious, unlike animals, correct now? So animals suffer, but they can't ask, why am I suffering? Human beings suffer, but human beings can protest against suffering. Because we are called Amrita Putra. Amrita Putra, we are all children of immortality. Therefore, we can protest. We can ask, hey, I am supposed to be experiencing immortal nectar of happiness. How is it that these sufferings are inflicted upon me? These sufferings are being given to us. Why? Because we had a desire to enjoy matter. Actually, we are supposed to enjoy with the Supreme Spirit. Spirit enjoys with Supreme Spirit. That's natural. Krishna is called as Rasa Vigraha, Akila Rasamrita Murti. So Akila Rasamrita Murti means all the loving exchanges of rasas are present in the Lord, and he is extremely happy and he wants to distribute happiness to others. See, no father will want to enjoy separately. For example, my father used to bring this one big jar of mixed fruit juice. He would bring sometimes in the lunchtime. He would come. So now what do you think when he brings in a big jar? Is he going to drink everything himself? No, he will call all of us around the table and he'll give one glass to everybody and he'll pour it. After everybody takes, he also takes after that. So just as a father shares with his wife and children, so Krishna wants to share the happiness with us. So therefore, that is Amritatvam. It's immortal nectar it is. But that happiness we are leaving and we are coming or enjoying, just like you are leaving in a popcorn and you want to eat thermocol. It's like that. So we are trying to enjoy the dead matter, just like you see a child can play with the mother or father, or the child can play with the teddy bear. Teddy bear is a dead bear, isn't it? Teddy bear is a dead toy. But sometimes you see when a child is playing with teddy bear in the garden, suddenly a big bumblebee comes. Like that. Child gets frightened. It throws away the teddy bear and comes running to mother or father. So the suffering that comes in life of the child is to inspire the child to get reconnected to the parents. Is it good or bad? It's very good. After that, if a parent picks up the child and throws up in the air and catches the child enjoys much more. He thinks, hey, this game is even more better. Instead of playing with the teddy bear. Because the spirit can enjoy with Supreme Spirit, not with dead matter. It's incompatible. You can't enjoy. You can see that people are eating nowadays all kinds of crazy things, hot dogs. They're eating all kinds of meat and everything. And they're getting all complicated diseases because of that. They're supposed to eat prasad. Prasad is something very pure and healthy, nutritious. So just as one should give up nasty eating and eat pure substances, similarly, for all the senses, we have to feed in pure substances. For the eyes, for the ears, for the nose. Beautiful deities for the eyes, kirtan for the ears, just like we were hearing in the beginning. Prasadam for the mouth, scent offered to the Lord, and seva engagement for the senses. Then the senses become purified. Rishikena, Rishikesha Sevana. Then senses are purified. And mind becomes purified by chanting of the holy name. Intelligence becomes purified by the study of the scriptures. And ego becomes purified by regularly coming and associating with devotees. Regularly. Sometimes what happens in many places, when some visiting speaker comes, a lot of people come. They think that, oh, some senior speaker has come, let's go and take advantage. But on a regular basis, they don't come. If they say, who is giving class? Daoji Prabhu. Okay, Daoji Prabhu hai idhar. He's always available. He's a local man. Available. Actually, that's a very bad habit. Bhagavatam says, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Daily we should hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, some of your relatives may say that, see, you already have read the book once. Why do you have to go to class every day? Same book over and over. Why do you have to read? Actually, you will see that the Bhagavatam is, first of all, very exhaustive literature. It's 18,000 verses, purports also. So you cannot know in and out of Bhagavatam, even after many years also. There are subtler and deeper things in the Bhagavatam. But when you come regularly, hear from various speakers, they speak from various angles also. You get a very good understanding, overall understanding when you hear. So, and the Bhagavatam also should be repetitively studied. Anuvarnitaha, Anukirtaha, two words are used. Anuvarnita means one should describe the glories of the Lord. One should repeat the glories of the Lord. And one should praise the Lord. This is all given in the scriptures. By praising the Lord, by glorifying Him, and by repeatedly reading descriptions about Him, gradually the affection for the Lord will be awakened. Shruta Sambradaya Chiram, it says. Long duration of time one should hear, it is said. Just like, say you have a prasadam plate after finishing. Imagine one of the days you are just chatting with somebody, talking during prasad. And your hands became dry, plate became completely dry. Half an hour you were talking. Sometimes our devotees after prasad keep joking, talking, and the plate becomes dry. You go and keep it in the wash basin and you fill it up with water, correct, no? And you don't do anything. Just fill it up with water and you go away. After half an hour you come. When you do like this, everything comes out very easily. On the spot, if you try to clean, it will be sticking. Even if you take, sometimes people take this steel brush and try to remove that. You don't have to take trouble. Just fill it up with water and push off. Come off top. And similarly, the plate is like our heart. Fill up your heart with Krishna Katha and keep it dwelling, soaked in Krishna Katha of the Srimad Bhagavatam daily hearing. Then you will see that all the lust, anger, pride, greed, envy, everything can be easily cleaned out for a period of time. It will come out very easily. That's the reason we have to always soak our consciousness like a sponge in water. So that kind of hearing is necessary. The hearing which causes lingering thoughts of Krishna in your mind. That is real hearing. Like, for example, say you watched a movie, 2-3 hours, and then when you came out of the movie theater, the characters are revolving in your head. Not even for half an hour, 1 hour. Some people live in that movie life for 1 week also. Any of you experience of this? No, you don't have experience? And I'm not saying now, before coming to Krishna consciousness. You know experience? Yeah, correct, no? Yeah. Because those characters become a part of your life for some period of time. That means the movie has soaked your consciousness. That's a proof. How many of you understand the principle what I'm saying? Is it clear? Yeah. In the same song also, correct, no? You heard one song and that just caught in your mind. Dun, 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 dun. You heard the tune. And then wherever you go, the same tune keeps coming. Like this during this Panchatattva Abhishek, this one as Bibi Govind Maharaj sang one famous tune. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, when we heard the tune for the first time, my Lord, it was haunting, we can say. How many of you had a haunting experience with this tune? Correct, no? Whole world experienced that. Therefore, on all over the world temples, they started singing this. So, just as the Kirtan haunts us all the time, similarly, the Bhagavad Katha also can be absorbing to our consciousness. That type of lingering thoughts about Krishna, his behavior, his character, his qualities. So then when that happens, that is the way we can cross over the ocean of samsara. So I'll give you a couple of examples you can see for yourself. You know this Bhishma Pitama, for example. He was living in the midst of politics, dirty politics. There are 4 fellows called as Dushta Chatushtayam. Like we have Shakuni, Duryodhana, Dushasana, and Karna. 4 Dushtas. All 4 would come together and hatch many plots to trouble the Pandavas, kill the Pandavas. And day in and day out, Bhishma saw that many sages come to the palace and give good advice to Duryodhana, but Duryodhana will pay him no heed at all. Like Markandeya Rishi came, Narada came, Dhaumya Rishi came, so many came actually. Vyasadeva came. See, such amazing association you would have taken if you wanted. Who? Duryodhana. But you would hear with 1 ear and leave it with another ear. He would never pay heed. So and then after they are gone, he would talk all dirty politics. We always hatch plots to kill the Pandavas. So you can imagine Bhishma was in such a bad association in the palace, but in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, he was, loving exchange he was having with Parthasarathi. Correct, no? When Parthasarathi lifted the wheel of a chariot and came running to him, Bhishma is singing such poems. when he was appreciating that beautiful sight. Later on, lying in the arrow bed also, he spoke so many amazing things. Songs in glorification of Krishna. So do you agree that he was completely absorbed? Conscious, fully absorbed in Krishna. So once you become absorbed in Krishna consciousness, then the external impurities cannot affect you. Just like a milk, if you have milk in a vessel, you add water to that, it becomes diluted. But the milk, you convert it into butter. Then you put it in water. Will it get affected? It will be floating. So his consciousness was like milk or like butter? Butter. Same with Akrura also. Akrura was always living in the palace of Kamsa, Dushta. And Kamsa one day called Akrura and said, Akrura, hear my plan. I am planning to arrange Krishna and Balram to be brought here. And with the Kovalapida elephant, I will destroy him. If he escapes that, then Shala, Toshala, and all those Chandar, Mushtik, powerful Mallas, they will finish him. Otherwise, I am myself there, I will finish him. So in this way he was talking. Then he was also telling, after that, we will get this Vasudeva, we'll finish him also. And then he said, all his relatives, friends, everybody will finish. One by one he was talking about who all he will finish. And he said, Jarasandha, he is my Jarasandho Mama Guru, he said. And because he has given his 2 daughters to me in marriage, Asti Prapti. So he is my Guru. And I will flourish in his association. And Ugrastenam Sthaviram, he said. This Ugrasena is a oldie. And he is Rajya Kamukam, he says. He has attachment to the kingdom, he's saying. Therefore, the old fellow Ugrasena, I'll finish him also, he's saying. What kind of and all this has to be heard by whom? Poor fellow. Akrura is a pure devotee. Many of us complain about bad association. But do you think Akrura was, anyway free from bad association? But living in that palace, one day Kamsa called him and said, Akrura, here is a Anena Ratham. He is showing, look at this Ratha, this new golden chariot. I have brought it. And you can take this and go and bring Krishna Balram. And Akrura had a smile on his face. So when Kamsa saw that, he became very satisfied. So he thought that I have tricked Akrura with a new chariot to go and bring Krishna Balram. Why did Akrura smile? The pure devotee smile is very deep. Akrura was thinking, thank God he did not give a old chariot where he has used. He has given a new chariot, which Bhoga now. Yeah. So when Krishna uses something, the Bhoga becomes Prasad. So Krishna, he thought for Krishna Balram, we should always give something new, not a second-hand one. Good. Therefore, Akrura smiled, seeing that chariot. But this fellow thought, Hamsa thought that, like imagine, for example, for young boys like this, you give them a nice new bicycle, they will have a smile on their face, correct? No? When we got the bicycle in school days, newly brought from the market, even the plastic covers have to be removed. And the rubber tire is smelling very nice. Then I took the cycle and went in the ground 3 times, round and round. Father asked, why are you wasting your time? I said, I'm just checking cycle, how it is working. He said, better go to school with the cycle, don't waste your time. So we become thrilled by a new cycle, but Akrura was not thrilled by a new chariot for himself. He became thrilled by the new chariot, that it's a wonderful thing to offer to Krishna. And while going in the chariot, you all know what all he thought of, correct? No? Entering Vrindavan. He was thinking, when I go to Vrindavan, I will see Krishna face to face, Krishna will embrace me, and all my sinful reactions will be eradicated. And then both Krishna Balram will call me Uncle Akrura, very sweetly they will call me. And he was thinking how Krishna will be wearing beautiful pitambar and everything he was thinking in the mind. So the idea is, do you agree that Akrura was also soaked in Krishna consciousness? And lingering thoughts of Krishna and Balram while moving in the chariot. And as soon as he reached the frontiers of Vrindavan, he saw the cows and bulls making the mooing sound. And he saw the dust of Raj. Immediately he jumped off from his chariot and rolled in the ground. There's one verse which says, Hitva dambam piyam shucham. He gave up his damba or his adambar, that I am a minister of Kamsa. He forgot his position. He thought I am only an insignificant servant of Krishna. So look at Akrura's consciousness. The golden consciousness it is. So Akrura, Kunti, Bhishma Pitama, Yudhishthir Maharaj, they are all examples of first class absorption. Gopis also. So in this way, if we want to go back to Godhead, even though we may be surrounded by the bad association of the modern times, we have to keep our consciousness like butter, not like milk. So how do you go from milk to butter? For that is what requires serious and strict and sincere practice of Krishna consciousness. So, who is a strict practitioner of Krishna consciousness? One who takes vows and keeps vows. That's a strict devotee. For example, on the day of initiation, we take a vow. What vow we take? I will chant 16 rounds of Hare Krishna and follow 4 regulative principles. And that's minimum. You can do more than that. But you have to strictly adhere to those vows. Ekadashi day, we fast from grains. Similarly, if you are a strict devotee, you will not eat in hotel here and there and all outside. You will always cook at home, offer to Krishna, only then eat it. Otherwise, people relax in that. Similarly, if you are a strict devotee, you will not chant on counters and all. You will chant on the beads only, always, because the beads, is Tulasi beads, even with a spiritual master, once you chant on the beads. Counter you can chant if you want, that should be extra rounds. It is said 16 rounds on beads and infinite number of rounds off beads. That you can chant if you want. Additionally, you can chant. Once you chant on the beads. Similarly, the 4 regulative principles are easy to follow when you are very much in contact with the sound vibration of Bhaktivedanta purports regularly. I'm specifically using the word Bhaktivedanta purports because nowadays so many books have come now. People are reading many other things nowadays. They're hearing different lectures, reading different things. So minimum, Grihastha devotee, a minimum they should read half an hour every day. If you can't read every day, in a week, how many? 3.5 hours. So in Pune also, some Grihasthas read on Saturday for 3 hours at a stretch they read. 2.5, 3 hours. And they cover it on Saturday like that. Or every day half an hour, whatever is convenient for you. One new app has come called Transcend app, you know that? And the Transcend app is all audio recording of all Prabhupada's books available. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu knows it. If you ask him, he will connect you. You can purchase it and keep it in your recorder. And that, you can, in your mobile also you can hear. If you can't read the book, you can hear the book. Audio book you can hear like that. In the same manner, apart from reading Bhaktivedanta purports, we should hear at least 20 minutes of Prabhupada lectures every day, at least 20 to 30 minutes of Prabhupada lecture daily. Again, I am telling whose lecture? Yeah. Why? Because Prabhupada has given very purely. I have been hearing Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, full Bhagavad Gita lectures, I finished it. Now I am in the second round again now. I'm hearing now I am in the 10th chapter now. Every morning, early morning when I get up, I hear. It is very good. Early morning, you hear 20 minutes of Prabhupada's lecture. Whole day we will be very absorbed in Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada's lecture is pure devotee. Sound vibration is so pure. So, and also if you are initiated, then your spiritual master is very important for you also. You should hear spiritual master's sound vibration another 20 minutes at least. Now what happens with many people, they don't hear the spiritual master. They hear so many different other speakers. And then gradually they suddenly come and ask, Prabhuji, I'm not having any feeling for my guru. Why? First thing I will ask them, are you hearing his lecture daily? Oh, hardly. I don't get time to hear. Your connection to your guru happens through the medium of Vani, sound vibration. So, because if you hear him, then you will try to understand what he says. When you understand, then you will make an effort to apply. At least 20 minutes of Prabhupada, 20 minutes of Guru, one should hear. And those of you who are initiated, I will tell you one very easy way to complete Prabhupada purports. You have a small reading group, even 3 or 4 or 5 people also begin with that. In Pune, we have groups called a sport, we call it. Sport, we have advertised in the notice board also. Anybody want to join the sport group, you can join. What is sport? Srila Prabhupada online reading team. A sport. So many people join that. We have more than 100 groups like that. So each group reads on different books, different times of the day. So if you want to begin it, I'll tell you a very simple idea. Start it at night before going to sleep. People can hear like either 15 minutes, 8:45 to 9, something like that. In Pune, many people do 8:45 to 9. So 15 minutes of reading. Begin with Lila Amrita, one volume edition. You know, you've seen Prabhupada Lila Amrita, one volume. Very, people will cry tears about Prabhupada's dedication if they read that, Prabhupada Lila Amrita, one volume. So after you finish that, then you go Prabhupada books 1, 2, 3, 4, small, medium, big. Gradually cover them. So by teaching other people, your reading also is taken care. Correct, no? Either you read 15 minutes or 20 minutes or half an hour per day throughout the week. Many are doing that. You are doing, right? Nishkin Prabhu, you are doing? He is also doing. Nishkin Prabhu. You can ask him how successful it is. So don't worry about how many people come. Even in your WhatsApp group, you may have 30, 40 people, only 3, 4 may come. Don't worry. Your reading is going on. It's good. Eventually, it will be nice. So by small, medium books and I'll finish with other people reading. And then Bhakti Shastri, you do. How many of you have done Bhakti Shastri here? Good. Very good. Very nice. Those 4 books are very important. After that, you can read Bhagavatam and CC. Gradually. Don't read only translations. You should read purports. The real instructions of Prabhupada are in his purports. So one of the reasons why we should read purport, the mood and mission of Prabhupada is in the purport. The faith and conviction, mood and mission, these are all deep spiritual values. If you really want to become absorbed in Krishna, the faith and conviction has to develop. And the mood and mission of Prabhupada has to be understood. Like in this whole purport, he is explaining about the compassion of Lord Shiva and how he is saving all the creatures from the halahal visha. Similarly, what is the halahal visha in this material world for all of us? Forgetfulness of Krishna. Therefore, our Kulashekara is telling, Mukunda Murdna Pranipatya Yache Bhavantam Ekantam Yantamartham Avismritistvacharana Ravinde Bhave Bhave Mestu Bhavat Prasadat. O Lord Mukunda, I bow down my head at your lotus feet. Mukunda Murdana Pranipatyayache Bhavantam Ekantam Yantamartham. I am only aspiring for one thing from you. What is it? Avismriti. Let me never forget you, he's saying. Tacharana Aravinde. Let me never forget your lotus feet. When Bhave Bhave Mestu Bhavat Prasadat. Birth after birth, this is my only aspiration. Let me always remember your lotus feet, he's saying. And the next verse he says, like I was telling you today, we are suffering in this world and we are also hankering. The next verse talks about hankering. He says, Naham mande tava charanayor dvandvamat dvandvahetoh kumbhipakam gurumapi harer narakam napanetum ramya rama mridutanu lata nandane napirantum bhave bhave hridaya bhavane bhavayeyam bhavantam. He's telling, Naham mande tava charanayor dvandvamat. My dear Lord, I don't aspire to be relieved from the cycle of birth and death and attain moksha and relax in the Brahma Jyoti. That's not my aspiration. Nor am I aspiring to be saved from the Kumbipak hell, one of the 28 hells, which means I am ready for any punishments also if I have done some wrong things. Give me punishment, no problem, he says. Nor am I aspiring to go to heaven and meet Marutanu Lata, means the Apsaras who have tender bodies and fragrant bodies. I don't want to enjoy their bodies in the Nandana garden also, which means I'm not hankering for lusty activities. Nor am I fearing to go to hell also. Nor am I aspiring for liberation also. Then what do you want? Then what else you want? He says, Bhave, Bhave, Hridaya Bhavane, Bhavayeyam Bhavantam. At every birth after birth, at every moment in my heart, let my heart become a playground of your pastimes. You come and reside in my heart. That Krishna conscious absorption, that's the only thing I aspire for, he says. So in this way, you can see that great souls have prayed. So if we want that type of absorption, then Bhakti Shastri books are very important. After that, Bhagavatam and CC. So reading these books and hearing the lectures of Prabhupada and Guru. After you have completed this, then you can hear other speakers if you want. There are many people hearing different speakers. You can hear. Plus, once in a week, attending a program like this is absolutely essential. Nowadays, Prabhu does his house program on which day? Friday, yeah. On Friday he does. And actually, you should think that if I miss the Friday program, I am something missing. It's like cutting down your salary. That everybody is afraid. Nobody want to cut, correct? Imagine instead of $6,000, this month they are only giving you $5,000. How will you feel? Missing weekly program is like that. We should never miss the devotees. And if you can attend online, daily morning he gives Bhagavatam also he has. Correct, na Prabhu? You read Bhagavatam daily? You have. Actually, some people do online. So you have a daily touch of Bhagavatam, at least few minutes, 15, 20 minutes. In this way, you are in good association. You are chanting 16 rounds. So strict devotee means he takes vows and does not compromise on the vows. And one, like Raghunath Das Goswami, his vows were like lines drawn on a water or stone? Stone. You know that other example? There was a monkey who took a vow that Ekadashi, this time I'm going to do Nirjal. And the only mistake he did was he went and told the other monkeys that I'm going to do Nirjal this Ekadashi. Some monkey told him, you see, if you do Nirjal, next day your body will be so weak, you won't have the strength to pluck the apples from the trees. So better you pluck and keep it. So he plucked many, many apples and kept in his house. And the other monkey told him, tomorrow you'll be so weak that you can't even bite the apples. No strength in your teeth. You bite and keep it. So he bit and kept. In pieces he kept. Then the next day, Aikadashi started. He told him, hey, now you're going to fast all day. You'll become very weak. Better you keep them in, because you can't even pick up also. So he picked up and kept here. Like here and here he kept. And think about Nirjal. Can he do Nirjal? So some people's determination wavers like this. They take on, today I'm going to chant 64 rounds, they say Ekadashi. And then come to 32 rounds. And then finally they find I just barely finished 16 rounds. And in this way, many times we make vows, but we are not able to stick to the vow. So strict devotee means devotee takes vow and sticks to the vow. All this Sankhya Apurvaka, Nama Gana Natabi, it is said. Natabi, all these Goswamis, they were all having vows to circumambulate Govardhan. Sanatana Goswami was so old. One day, Lakshmana saw that Sanatana is going around Govardhan and he's very, very frail and old. So Krishna personally came and gave him one Govardhan Shilatra and said, if you circumambulate this 4 times, it's equivalent to going around Govardhan once fully. So that is available in one temple. Anybody knows? Radha Damodar temple. It's kept there. So if you circumambulate it 4 times, it's equal to going around Giriraj. Krishna himself said that to him. So Krishna wanted him to reduce the vow. Even he felt pity for the Goswami. Same with Haridas Thakur was chanting 3 lakh names. And Mahaprabhu told him, don't chant so much. We are old now. Relax, correct? No? So they were strict with the vows. That's a strict devotee. Who is a serious devotee? A serious devotee is one who does not buckle. Buckling? For example, if you have a aluminum rod and an iron rod, if you push the aluminum rod against the wall, it will buckle. Aluminum, correct? No? Aluminum is soft, it buckles. Whereas iron rod, if you push, will it buckle? It won't. So serious devotee means he doesn't buckle when in the face of calamities. Like Prahlad, he faced many calamities. He did not buckle. In the face of temptations, like for example, Haridas Thakur was put into temptation. Did he buckle? He didn't. In the face of calamities, in the face of temptations, in the face of allurements. For example, you will see that there are bad examples also. Like Ajamila, in the face of temptation, he buckled. He fell prey to that. Some people, when calamities come in life, they give up Krishna consciousness. So if you are serious devotees, we don't buckle in trying situations. Some of you might have had experience. Sometimes there's a financial crunch, or there's a crisis at home, somebody's health problem. Sometimes there's a problem in profession, whatever it is. But rain or shine, a devotee is serious in all situations. Like I was very surprised. Recently, I went to Ottawa, Canada, and there was freezing cold everywhere. You can see the snow bed. Children are playing with making snow dolls. Also, you have seen that they play. So everywhere, when you see from the window glass of the houses, everywhere you find snow. For the road also, they have some truck which comes and removes the snow. They put some chemical and remove. It was freezing cold. We had to wear two sweaters and everything. So when I went to the temple, I was taken by surprise. Early morning, at 5 o'clock, there are 60 people, 60, 70 people in the early morning, attending Mangalarti, Narsingarti, Tulsiarti class and everything. And I asked the President Prabhu there, Krishna Dulal Prabhu, Prabhu, I think all these fellows are staying right next to temple, I think. So they could immediately come here. No, Prabhuji, he said, most of them are staying 45 minutes away. I said, and they have gotten up at 3 o'clock. And they took a bath and then they have come to the temple. And people do come, he said. Many days people come. Some of them come for 3-4 days a week. Some of them come for the whole week also. So I was very surprised because generally our life is such that night it gets late for many people. Because the morning gets late. And the morning gets late, then chanting remains. Then the chanting goes to night. Again, the late night chanting makes the night late. It's like a vicious cycle. Keeps going. So you can cut the cycle on a Sunday. Why? Because Sunday you are at home. So what do you do? Whatever balance rounds are remaining in the morning, daytime you finish it, and Sunday you go to bed early. So let us check how many of you sleep between 9:30 to 10 here. Let us see. Great. Give them an applause. Very good. That's about 3-4. How many of you generally sleep between 10 to 10:30? There are about 5-6. Okay. How many of you sleep between 10:30 to 11? Okay. How many of you sleep between 11 to 11:30? Okay. How many sleep between 11:30 to 12? Nobody. Beyond 12, anybody? Nobody. Mostly 11 to 11:30, up to 11:30. Actually, the sleep between 10 to 4 is 10 to 2 is very important. Sleep between 10 to 2, because daytime your external body is active. In the night time, the internal mechanisms, chemistries happen, like metabolism, pitta secretions, and all happens between 10 to 2. You can see. I have a video. I will send it to Dawaji Prabhu. This video is only 2-3 minutes video. He says in that video that by 10 o'clock you feel tiredness. If you don't lie down, then you are actually cutting on the health of your system. In the daytime you will feel very tired, drowsy. You won't be very fresh. But if you want to be all day fresh, then 10 to 4 is very ideal. 9:30 to 3:30 or 10 to 4 is very ideal. So one beauty I'll tell you, if you sleep early and you rise early, the early morning hours are golden hours, Padma Muhurta. The reading, hearing, chanting, they're all extremely powerful. Many grahasthas are not able to experience the joy because that night job, and some people actually come home at 9 and eat at 9:30. Immediately they cannot sleep. And they spend some time with children, wife, family, and by the time they retire to bed, it becomes 11:30 like that. So we have to find out how we can modify our life. And instead of returning home at 9, if you can return at 7. Some companies, if you go early, they leave you early also. Correct, no? Morning, you go a little early. Instead of going at 10, you go at 8. The night, you can be back at 7. So you shift your clock like this. Shift complete like this. That means, go to job early, come back early, eat early, sleep early, and rise early also. Correct, no? It's a very good habit. Then we can actually become a serious devotee, because how we become serious devotees, to not buckle in allurements, temptation, calamities, and all these things. It's possible when you get the early morning golden hours to do your sadhana, reading. Like I'm telling you, 20 minutes hearing Prabhupada, 20 minutes hearing Guru, chanting 16 rounds, doing Mangalarti, Narsingarti, Tulsiarti. Many people don't get to do Arati at all because morning you have to go to office. But if you get solid hours in the morning, you can do all these things very well. Nice sadhana you can do in the morning. And peacefully you can, once you do the sadhana, you get the compass in spiritual life. The direction, focus, concentration, everything. In the daytime, you get the strength to face the challenges of the world. The world is throwing so many challenges nowadays. Life is so troublesome. But if the morning sadhana is not good, the daytime we become disoriented, become depressed, we become morose, or become angry, and we lose our compass in the day. Early morning sadhana is very, very important. And in order for us to chant well, we have to observe what happens in our mind during chanting. See, mind has 3 activities: thinking, feeling, willing. So even if you want to think thoughts related to chanting, just like that famous, for example, Shikshashtaka, second verse, correct now? Durdaivam idrisham ihajani nanu raga. My dear Lord, I have no attraction for you. So that's the right way to feel. And what do you have to think? Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budav kripaya tava pada pankajasti tadhuli sadrisham vichintaya. Oh, son of Nanda Krishna, somewhere that I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up, purify me, accept me, keep me in your lotus feet as one of the millions of devotees. That's my right place. Somehow I have turned away from you. I did a big mistake in my life, forgetting you, turning away from you. Please help me, pick me. So this is a very right mood in approaching the holy name. And how should we feel? Prabhupada says that Prabhupada's favorite song was this: Hari Hari Vifale Janam Gavaino. That song. Manushya Janamapaya Radha Krishna Nabhajiya. So my spiritual master, morning he would go to room and come for the japa. So one day I went behind him to the room, and on the way back I wanted to talk to him. So when he was coming back from the room, I saw every day he's murmuring a Vaishnava song. Then he comes out of the room, and then he comes to the temple hall, and then he sits down. One day he was singing this Nitai Pada Kamala. He was singing. Another time I saw him singing this Manusha Janamapaya Radha Krishna Bhajiya. So he was singing that Tara Sakshi Jagai Madai. He was singing that. Tara Sakshi Jagai. That's very, very softly he will sing himself. And he's just waving the head and closing the eyes. And he's singing and coming to temple hall. When he sits to chant, then he gets into that mood immediately. So the Vaishnava songs are a very good way to bring the mood, right mood in chanting. So there are three things: methods, mood, mellows. Method means sit erect. Spine should be, Krishna says, spine should be erect or bent. So erect, he says. My Shiksha Guru, Devamrit Prabhu, in those days used to say, the hand should be like this, like a bamboo. Bamboo is not bending, correct? Na? But if the hand bends like this, then only we feel sleepy. So when I would sit next to him, slowly my hand will come like this, and then he would pinch me. He'll say, redirect. Then again, Hare Krishna. Yeah. Slowly we feel tired, correct? No? So if you don't bend the hand, you cannot sleep. You try this. Spine is erect. All of you try this. Sit erect. Spine is erect. Keep the two hands like a bamboo. You cannot sleep in this pose. Not possible. Correct? So in this way, this is the methods. Method means sit in a place, and also don't sit in a place where people are moving back and forth. You should not have any eye distraction, ear distraction should be avoided. There should be no sounds also. If something is going, even Prabhupada's dhun we put, which is all right, but if you put dhun loudly, then you can't hear your sound. So no other distraction. Calm. Early morning is best. Ear should not be distracted. Eyes are not distracted. Make a sacred space for yourself. Sit down. And then that is the methods. And what is the mood? I told you already. Ayinanda Taranja Kinkaram. Second verse of Shikshashtakam also. Hari Hari Vipala Janavaban. These are the mood. Set up the mood in the mind and get into a prayerful mood. Beg the Lord for help. And know that. And some boys ask me, should we see Radha Krishna picture? No. If you are trying to see picture and all, mind will wander here and there. You should only see the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Our Gaura Kishore Das Babaji, he had one stone, vertical stone, engraved with this mantra, two words. He did even Abhishekam also for that. He would worship the stone. Because Mahamantra is worshipable actually. Every day he would bow down and look at that and he would chant. When initially you look with the eyes and then close the eyes and see in the eye of your mind. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. And the mind is wandering too much during chanting. You can chant like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. You understood what I am doing? Huh? Mind will listen very well. This idea he was teaching us, his old as Purnachandra Maharaj when he came to Pune. He taught us, he said that if you chant like this, now the mind will, okay, what are the next two words I have to, like that. Mind will become very attentive. Mind cannot wander here and there. Huh? So in this way, gradually, basically you have to hook the mind to the holy name. Huh? Once that hooking of the mind to holy name is done, then you forget the external world around you. Huh? You can fully absorb. And Krishna gives one more idea. Keep your two eyes at the tip of your nose, he says. I tried this, you get headache. So then what I do, I close one eye and only one eye I bring to the tip of the nose. You all try this? One eye, bring it to the tip of the nose like this. That means eyeball is in resting pose. One good news is the nose is a non-moving portion of the body. It's not the hair that is moving. Correct? Therefore, if you focus on the tip, mind will not wander. Krishna himself says that. Correct, no? Shuchodeshe patishthapya sthiram asanam atmanah na uchritam na atinicham chailajana kushotaram tatre kagram manakrutva. Like that he says, ekagra chitta say, you try to focus on the tip of the nose like this. So nowadays I do this. I close one eye, and one eye I see the tip of the nose, and it is very good concentration will get. You can try this. And after, so these are all the methods, methods and mood. And the mellows, that is a third thing, which is actually, there are three gates to the body, mind, and heart, you say. So we can actually have the power to open the bodily door and the mental door also. But the heart door, that we cannot open. Why? Because the super soul Lord has to open that door. It's just like Pujari in the temple also. He has to open the altar door. Can you open the altar door from outside? You cannot. He has to open. So you prepare your consciousness in such a way that Lord becomes pleased with you. And then He arouses spiritual feelings in your heart. Lord will be touched by your devotion, and then He will awaken spiritual feelings. And we all have experienced occasionally, but that those feelings can be aroused by pleasing the Lord. When Lord is touched by the offenseless, unpretentious prayer of the devotee, called out with a helpless attitude, nishkapat bhavana se, niraparad bhavana se, nissahaya bhavana se. So one is helplessly begging the Lord, and with no duplicity and no offenses also. Then the third door will be opened. Then the mellows will arise in the heart. You heard Srimad Bhagavatam so many past times. Regularly, I told you, you are hearing the lectures of Guru and Prabhupada. You are also reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. Already you have a lot of background information. So those pastimes that you have heard, combined with your prayerful mood, it is going to arouse divine thoughts in the mind. Many, many sublime thoughts will arise. So then the chanting becomes very, very effective. Then we can convert milk like mind to milk like heart to butter like heart. Once the heart becomes like butter, somebody finds butter very tasty, very fond of butter. Who is fond of butter? Yeah. So if heart becomes like butter, then Krishna will steal our hearts. Like we say, come and reside in my heart, we say. But if your heart is not like butter, how can he come and reside? Our heart cannot be, initially there are dirty distractions, blackish. And then when you go beyond the dirty, negative distractions, then there are positive distractions, thinking about seva. Today we have program in the evening, we have to do this. Now we have to call the people and have to arrange for the prasad. And, we have not told that fellow, we have to tell him he has to arrange the vehicle. And so many thoughts arise in the chanting time. Those are positive distractions. So both negative distraction and positive distraction, if you can avoid and become focused in chanting, then you enter into the third circle, which is yellow circle, which is that prayerful mode. Like Prahlad's prayerful mode, Gajendra's prayerful mode, Kunti's prayerful mode. Prayerful mode is actually the best platform in chanting, where the spiritual feelings arise in the mind and heart of a devotee. Actually, for doing that, we should throw everything else to wind during the chanting time. This is my activity now. I am not going to combine anything else. Nobody should take a smartphone and sit with that. That will be a big distraction. Keep the smartphone in a locker or something, lock it up. Now I'm going to just chant, that's all, nothing else. Just take, imagine, for example, Microsoft has called you for an interview at evening 5 o'clock. When will you reach there? By when will you be ready there for the interview? Yeah, 4:30 will be ready. Correct now. Huh? And then during the interview, will you combine it with any other activity? Panel is asking you questions. Will you open your mobile and see? No, doing something else? Will you ever do that? They will not give you a job. Correct now. If they see that you are distracted, you're going to be super attentive, and you'll present to them as best as possible. Same manner, chanting also. Couple of hours in a day we are giving to the Lord. Which I used to always think nowadays in the daytime we have so many things to do. At least those couple of hours, we should keep it for Krishna. No other this thing. We should be very attentive. So once the chanting is good, everything else good thing will follow you in your life. Most important activity is the chanting and reading. Hearing the holy name and hearing the holy fame. What is holy fame? Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam is holy fame. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya told Nityananda, Shuno, Shuno, Nityananda, Shuno, Haridas, Sarvatra Amara Agnya Koroho Prachar. Go out in the world, door to door. Prati Gare Gare Giya Koro Ye Viksha. Bolo Krishna, Bhajo Krishna, Karo Krishna Shiksha. Three things he says. Make all people chant Krishna's names and worship Krishna's deity form. And thirdly, Karo Krishna Shiksha, study Gita Bhagavatam, he says. So this is the name and fame of the Lord. So reading Bhagavatam is fame, chanting holy name is name, and worshipping the deity makes us develop personalized relationship with the Lord. These three things we do, life would be so great. So in this way, in this purport, Prabhupada is stressing on the mood and mission of giving this Krishna consciousness to other living entities. Also, that is the greatest service done. First, we solidify our spiritual life well, and then we can give to others. So, why I was telling you about this Prabhupada online reading team, because every day if you read, then gradually you can make more devotees also. And you all are intelligent people here. Nobody can come to America so easily here, getting into entry into this country, because some special intelligence you have, due to which you got an opportunity to come here and reside here. But that intelligence should not be used only for money making. That intelligence should be used for building your strength in spiritual life and also distributing it to other people. You also have another great risk in America. If you are not keeping your Krishna Krishna consciousness high, the culture of the country is very degraded, and slipping and falling down is more easy in America than India. You agree? That's other great risk we have. Whether you are a man or a woman, very easily we can slip and fall in this country. So keeping that risk in mind, therefore we should know that for my safety and security and protection in spiritual life, I have to keep my Krishna consciousness very high. So that's why I told you about strict devotee and serious devotee. And who is a sincere devotee? A sincere devotee has no malice in the heart for any jiva, no revenge thoughts about anybody. You should always have well-wishing thoughts about every other creature. Everybody is Krishna's child, a part and parcel of the Lord. So pray for their welfare, go over, and don't become envious of anybody. If somebody is better than me, I can go and learn from the devotee rather than feel envious of the devotee. Not feeling envy, not feeling malice, not feeling revengeful thoughts, not competing with others, and unhealthy comparison should be given up. And also, no duplicity also. Sincerity means no duplicity. That means we should not do drama of devotional service. We should not do for name, fame, glory. One should do the devotional service for Krishna's pleasure. So all this is called sincerity, sincere devotee. Ambarish Maharaj, sincere devotee. Prahlad Maharaj, sincere devotee. So one last example I'll say and I'll conclude. This there is one very interesting pastime in the ninth canto. There was one Nabaga, and he had a son Nabaga. This Nabaga is a very special character in Bhagavatam. One day what happened, this Nabaga joined Brahmacharya ashram. More than 20, 30 years he must have spent. So long duration of time he was in the celibate order with the Guru. He didn't, earlier he had no plan to return home. He was with Guru. So his other brothers divided the property amongst themselves, father's property, and they took it with them. Now Nabaga, what he did, after being brahmachari for many years, now he developed a desire to marry. So he came home. So his father told him, Nabaga told him, please go and approach your brothers because I have given all the property to them. So they will give you a part of share to you also. So when he went to his brothers, the brothers were very duplicitous fellows, very cunning fellows. You know what they said? See, all the property we have divided and taken ourselves. For you, we have kept the father. So that is your share. And he was such an innocent fellow. He went to the father and said, Papa, father, they have given you as my share. I am very blessed to have you. I will take care of you. I am serving you is the goal of my life. You are my father. So brothers told me, so I will accept you as my share. What did he say? Father laughed and said, they are making fool out of you. He said, so, but my dear son, you are a truthful fellow, thoroughly honest fellow. Your brothers are cheating you. So I will tell you an idea, he said. I will give you one line mantra. Carry it with you. There is one group of Brahmins who are doing one Angirasa Yajna. Sixth day from today, the Purnahuti time will come. At that time, they will need this line, which they don't know. At that time, they will be splitting their hair, searching in the Vedic text what mantra should be said. Because without Purnahuti, the whole yajna is considered incomplete. Correct, no? But his father said, I know it. So you can go and tell them, and they will give you a lot of charity, he said. So he went to the yajna. He was sitting for 5 days. Sixth day, everybody stood up and they're supposed to give the Purnahuti. Suddenly, the Brahmanas were searching what is the mantra to be chanted. So Nabaga went forward and gave them. They were very grateful. Yeah, exactly. This is what we are searching for. They thanked him and they chanted the mantra and the yajna got over. So the Brahmins told him that, see, there is a heap of gold available here. All that you can take, gold and silver is available here. That is for you as a gift because you helped us to complete the yajna. And Nabaga thanked them. So all the Brahmanas went away. When he was gathering it and putting it in a cloth to tie and take it, that time one black personality appeared there. He said, hey, Nabaga, don't touch it. Whatever is shesh, balance that remains in the yajna performance, that is all meant for me. I am Shiva, he said. I don't know how many of you heard about this. In yajna, they have all these different things left out there. No? Left out items are all meant for Shiva, actually. So he said, Shiva said, it is for me, and you can't afford to take it. Nabaga said, but my father asked me to take it, and Brahmanas also told me, since you are saying that it is meant for you, if you don't mind, if you just wait for a few minutes, I will check with my father and tell you, and I will come back quickly, he said. And Shiva said, I will wait. So he went to his father and bowed down to father and said, Father, please tell me. Shiva says, all these things belong to him, he says. You told me to collect, but he is saying it belongs to him. And father also said, yes, beta. Everything that the balance thing belonged to Shiva only, he said. And Nabaga came back and offered obeisance to Shiva again and said, my father has confirmed the truth. It is yours. You can take it. Please carry on. Either he said, what a personality, isn't it? What an amazing. Imagine if any other son was there, you go to father. Father says, just you give it to Shiva. You will shout at the father. You wasted my 5 days. 5 days I was sitting and you told me to collect. Now my brothers are also cheating. You are also cheating. He didn't say that. He was so thoroughly honest and truthful. And Shiva became so pleased with his submissiveness and attitude. So Shiva told him, Nabaga, you are a blessed soul. Not only I am going to give you all this gold and silver from this yajna, you take it all, it's for you. But I am also going to give you another wealth, which is transcendental knowledge. Sit down. And then Shiva gave him spiritual knowledge. Nabaga went on to become a pure devotee of Krishna after that. And that Nabaga's son is Ambarish Maharaj. You see, what a father, what a son, you see. So these sincere souls, Nabaga is sincere and Ambarish is sincere. So sincerity means no malice in the heart for anybody. He has no malice to brothers, no malice to father, no malice against Shiva. Completely transparent and pure. So if you cultivate this type of thing, then heart will be a very, very conducive place for Krishna to come and reside in heart. So I told you about strict devotee, serious devotee, and sincere devotee. And I also told you what all steps we should adopt to go from converting the milk into butter in our heart, isn't it? And for that, we are reading and also hearing and chanting with the method, mode, mellows. We spoke about those things also. So in this way, and I also told you that you should regularly connect with Prabhupada books. You can hear different speakers, not a problem, but you should first finish your quota first. Uh, 20 minutes Prabhupada, 20 minutes Guru hearing, then you hear anybody else. Similarly, reading Prabhupada book daily, at least half an hour to 1 hour. And then you can read other books if you want. Finish your quota first. Like, in your plate, you should have chapati, sabji, rice, dal first. Then you can eat frams, other things. Not that you put fram like this. Mountain of frams you eat. It's not good. It will cause problem in the belly. So other speakers, readers, you can hear after doing the minima. In this way, we can make our spiritual life very nice. And similarly, for Grihasthas, Sadhu Sangha and Dan, these two are very vital services. Regularly coming in the association of saintly devotees. And Sadhu is not one who is wearing saffron dress, is a Sadhu. Dhruva Maharaj's mother is also a Sadhu, correct? No? She gave a pure advice to the son. Rishabhadev is giving pure advice to his 100 sons. Anyone, woman or a man or child, Prahlad is a saintly child. Ambarish is a saintly king. Suniti is a saintly woman. So anybody who is saintly, we should associate and take that saintliness from them. That is sadhu sangha. And charity is very important for all the services and everything one should give for Krishna service. And by this, you will see that your money becomes purified. When you offer bhoga, prasad becomes purified. Food becomes purified. Worship the Lord in the house regularly, then your home becomes purified. Chant the holy name, mind becomes purified. Okay. In this way, Shiva is such an example of a Vaishnava, Parama Vaishnava, who is sacrificing. He's willing to accept the poison on his throat, and he came to be called as Nilakant, which is the beauty of Shiva, Parama Vaishnava, pure soul. So even Lord Krishna is amazed by Shiva's compassionate attitude. Shiva is called as a friend of the Lord. Brahma is called as servant of the Lord. So he is called as Charachara Gurum. He is the Guru of the whole universe. That's Shiva. So therefore, our Guru also, following in footsteps of Shiva, is extremely compassionate. We should borrow a small amsha of the Guru's compassion and go out and preach to other people. And bring the suffering. I told you in the beginning of the class today, our life is punctuated by so much suffering and hankering. Everybody is suffering. So we also have been suffering. Somebody saved us. So we should see compassionately the jivas who are suffering and try to bring them to Krishna's lotus feet. It's the greatest service done. So I'm coming here, I'm trying to come twice in a year. One of my aspirations in coming here is to see that in all these universities like UT Dallas, UT Arlington, and UNT, and there are some more colleges I heard here, isn't it? And from all these places, we preach to the young boys and young girls who are not yet married, especially between the age of like 18 to 28, or 17 to 30, we can say, this age group. Before their marriage, they should get Krishna consciousness. Why? They first become stable and then enter into family life. They'll become very strong. They will know all the basics of philosophy very nicely. Yesterday, we had a very wonderful camp here. Navaji Prabhu and his good wife, they put up a beautiful program yesterday, all day. How many students came yesterday? 43 people came yesterday. House was full with devotees. So, Matajis can preach to girls, Prabhujis can preach to boys, and mentor them. If you want to know more about this, you can ask Dauji Nitai Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shankararanya Prabhu, and also Chaitanya Chandra, what is his name? Sri Chaitanya Prabhu. These are the 4 preachers we have at the moment. And we also have our device is giving, what's his name? Aniruddha Prabhu. Aniruddha Prabhu is there. Anybody else? Jai Krishna Prabhu is also here now. Yeah, Jai Krishna Prabhu, Aniruddha Prabhu. So we have 6 devotees here. Any of you can meet them. If you can, take some program. See Nishkinchan Nitai Prabhu, wherever I'm going into America, he's always, I find him there. Before I reach, he reaches here. He's a very vigorous preacher in Boston. He can tell you, when you meet him personally, you can talk to him. He was in Boston. Now you are in Michigan. Now he's in Michigan now. Devotional Prabhu now, preaching in colleges now. So in this way, if any of you are willing to take up college preaching, the existing mentors will give you some youth to cultivate. Correct, no, Prabhu? If anybody wants to cultivate youth, we can provide, right? They have a method of generating new youths, right? Through book distribution and other things. In any age group, you can preach to youth. Don't think you have to be young to preach to youth. What was Prabhupada's age when he came to America? He was 70, but he's preaching to youth. You have to be youth at heart, that's all. Huh? Even if you're retired, you can preach to youth. You just be kind to them and compassionately administer Krishna consciousness to them. Be a good friend, they can become devotees. So if more youths are becoming devotees, I have reason to come and stay longer and longer here. I would come often. Huh? Thank you. Shri Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki.
Jai.
Thank you very much. Most of the questions I have answered. Huh? Yeah. I have already digested your questions. Answering, yeah. We have some prasad for them also?
Yes.
And I will sit here for a few minutes. Another 10 minutes I will be here. If any of you still feel that your question is not fully answered, then you can meet me, okay?
And request everyone to spend very little time. So this throat is not in a good condition.
Oh, no. Actually, 2 full programs I can give. Third meeting also I can give. But beyond that, all the morning, earlier I used to speak about 10 hours. I used to speak.
Now your
Sing.
throat is
Yeah. But my voice is clear?
yes. So prasadam will be ready. So we can take and then while Prabhu is talking for them.
Yeah. They are really thinking people. See how many questions they have asked. You can read these questions. Cut. You read. I will write mic with you.
That's okay.
Yeah.
First question, is there a
Actually, this also should come. It will come in this recording. It will come.
Recording, yeah.
Sound will come. It's here.
Yeah. It will come from this.
You can read it, then I'll answer.
Is there a specific pastime that we can read and comprehend to help improve relationship in family?
You can read this Suniti Suruchi pastime and Dhruva and Uttama. You can read that pastime. That will greatly help. Also, you can read Sarmishta Devyani clash that happened between 2 best of friends. They were very good friends. You can read that also. So these are all examples of effective communication examples. The Srimad Bhagavatam within family. Mahabharata also you can read. Krishna Dharma Prabhu has produced a 1-volume edition very nicely. Actually, Ramayana is completely pure literature. It talks about how to be selfless in dealing with your, wife or with children, with brothers, with parents. So Ramayana, Mahabharata, and this kind of Bhagavatam pastimes. Therefore, a regular touch with scriptures will make us mature.
Question on Bhagavatam 1.1.1. There is reference of water in fire and earth in water as illusion. Can you provide examples of both? We have example of illusion of seeing water on earth in a desert, but not other way.
See, Tejo Vari Mridam Yata Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Dhamna Svena Sada Nirasta Kuhakam Satyam Param Dhimahi. So it says 3 words are used. Tejo means fire, Vari means water, Mridam means earth. So if you look at your own body, our body is a combination of 3 things: mucus, bile, and air. Mucus, all the flesh and everything in the body, and bile are the liquids in the body. Air is the gases in the body. Correct, no? Now these 3 elements, if they are kept in 3 parts, they cannot attract anybody. Keep air in one barrel, all the flesh in one barrel, all the blood and liquid in another barrel. Will it be attractive? No. But when they're combined together, it causes illusion. Like Vishwamitra is attracted to Menaka, for example. When you combine these 3 substances, Tejo, Vari, Mridam, Yata Vinimyo, Yatra Trisargo, Amrusha. So he says that it causes illusion even for the sages or even for the demigods. They can be put to bewilderment. Just like if you have this watercolor box, that doesn't cause any attraction. But you take it and throw it on a canvas and draw a picture. Say, for example, you draw a beggar's picture who is like looking very poverty stricken and niggardly, torn clothes, and he's having a begging bowl that is begging. When you look at the picture, you feel compassion. So the watercolor doesn't produce compassion, but you throw it on a canvas, produces compassion. Similarly, the combination of these three elements produces illusion in this world. Attraction for the between the sexes, that is due to the combination of these three elements. Yeah.
We understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so we often sing his bhajans and chant his names and take his darshan. This way, we gradually but naturally develop some love and affection for him. But the same often does not happen with Mahaprabhu. How do we develop deep love and affection for Mahaprabhu?
I would say first you read the book Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, and then you read the introduction to the Srimad Bhagavatam, 30 pages, short sketch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's life you read. Then you get into Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila, Madhilila, Antilila. So one studies Chaitanya Lila, you will develop mad attraction to Mahaprabhu more than Krishna also. Krishna is great, but Mahaprabhu is far more merciful than Krishna. And many of us did not know anything about Mahaprabhu, but in my opinion, this devotee may not have taken the time and trouble to gradually read through and develop that attachment. How it develops? By reading it, hearing it. I spoke the whole Madhya Lila during COVID. Almost it is 270 tapes, I think. Each 1 hour, one lecture. But I've read the purport also, elaborated. If you have time, there I'm explaining also. You can go from the little by little, small drops of water make ocean. You read like this, then you tell me what you feel.
Did Ajamil go back to Godhead in the same life, or he had to take another birth as a devotee to complete his sadhana under a bona fide guru?
Ajamila, after the Vishnudutas and Yamudutas went away, he lamented bitterly and he repented for his faults. And then he understood that he is a terrible sinner. So immediately he left Kanyakumji, which is also north actually, close to Kanpur. He left the Kanauj, nowadays they call it Kanauj. So he left Kanauj and went to Haridwar, which is also north only. There he stayed in a Vishnu temple. Every day he took bath in the Ganges. He worshipped Vishnu. He heard the Gita Bhagavatam. He studied, associated with saintly people, and he became a pujari in the temple. So he became like a full-time devotee. Fully stayed there. One moment he didn't waste. After 12 years, the Vaikuntha plane came. The same Vishnu Dutas who came earlier came and took him back to Godhead. The same life.
What scriptural books we can read to develop Vaishnava Sadachar? Please recommend.
So for developing Sadachar, you can go to you have folio, correct? No, Veda base you have. In the Veda base, if you go to books by other ISKCON devotees, there is one number, item number 29 in that. So if you click books by other ISKCON devotees, if you go down, you will find Gita Nagari Press will be written there. You click that Gita Nagari Press. In that there is one two books called as, one is called as Vaishnava Behavior by Satsubh Das Maharaj. Another book is called as 26 Qualities of a Vaishnava. These two books are very important. I have actually taken out that book as a RTF file, rich text format. I have it. Oh, Rajiv, if you remind me, I can send you those two books. I have cut that book and kept it with me, soft copy. I can share with you. Anybody wants, they can take it. So this is one thing you can see. Another one interesting, I'll tell you, www.vaishnavaetiquette.com. If you go, is one that Bhakti Char Maharaj has put and kept. These people have put. It's a very nice site it is. Vaishnavaetiquette.com. That is another place. Then you also can read Chopati has produced one book also on Vaishnava etiquettes. Very nice book. That's what I use. And if you want elaboration of that, in my YouTube channel, you will see that there is one behavioral science we have published, one playlist. That's there in the right in the first page if you go down. I think at the bottom, I think. Those entire series are all Vaishnava etiquettes only, many of them. You can hear also. And Madhya Lila also has a lot of etiquette related.
How to stay connected to the deities at home? Sometimes the process is becoming mechanical.
Again, it's a sound vibration. Huh? If you're reading Bhagavatam regularly, hearing lectures, and you also hear specific lectures on the glory of the deities. For example, Sakshi Gopal pastime in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhavendra Puri's Kshirchor Gopinath pastime. You read and then hear the purports. When you read, and also I have spoken also, if you just go to my channel and put the word deity, the philosophy and science behind deity worship. That is one lecture. Just put deity, you will get it. Uh, Also, when Bangladesh attacks happen, I had spoken one lecture called "By Breaking the Murtis, Does a Person attack God?" About that I had spoken also. So you have to understand how the deities are Sakshat Krishna present, although we don't have the eyes to see. That's our limitation. There is a Jada Buddhi, Jada Drishti, Manomaya Drishti, Chinmaya Drishti. Right now we see with Jada Drishti. Go to Manomaya and Chinmaya Drishti, you will see with spiritual eyes, you can clearly see Lord is listening to you, Lord is appreciating and He is reciprocating.
How to stay sincere in this path? I want to become steady, but finding myself falling down here and there now and then. Please advise.
See, if somebody is saying that I am slipping and falling, I can confidently say that the devotee is not able to get that golden hours of the morning for spiritual sadhana. I can confidently say that because anybody who is strictly adhering to the morning program, Prabhupada says, all over the world, ISKCON devotees rise by what AM Prabhupada says in one purport, he says. What AM? 4 AM. Give her one applause, she correctly found out. Prabhupada says in one purport, he says, so anybody tell me you rise by 4 AM, get ready by 4:30, Mangala Arti, Narsingha Arti, Tulasi Arti, chanting 16 rounds, and reading Bhagavatam, hearing 20 minutes Prabhupada, 20 minutes Guru. After that, can you say this? You cannot say this. So if you are not taking fuel for the car and say car is not moving ahead, I will put the fuel in the car. You can remove it.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, my question, my husband who is not a devotee but still supports my Krishna consciousness, he says, why do you need to read Bhagavad Gita or Srimad Bhagavatam every day? If you understood it, you will not need to read it every day. To this, I don't have any answer.
Who can say you understood the scripture? Scriptures are oceanic. We are tiny thoughts. And Prabhupada says we have to read the scripture over and over again. You all will have experience. The early days when we read, we got little bit. Now 10 years later you read, you get more deeper understanding. Like when I went for study in the Govardhanaka village for a couple of years, my age was 48, I joined Bhakti Vaibhava and Bhakti Vedanta. I did. So those 2 years I stayed in the Govardhanaka village. Every day, 3 hours we will study one chapter, morning. And then afternoon, 10 to 1, we study one chapter. And then 3 to 6, we revise the chapter. And we memorize the shlokas also. The next day morning, I'll give a test also. So I did this for 2 years. Complete Bhagavatam and CC, we did that. So Gaurang Prabhu would come once in a month. So he thanked me, Radheshyam, you did a very good thing by coming here. Because the other students were all only 21, 22 years old. I am the oldest one in that, 48. So whenever they were little lazy to give test, Gaurang Prabhu gives my name and say, Radheshyam is at 48, he is giving test, why you guys cannot give test? You catch them. so, so we should have enthusiasm for studying and grasping. And the more you give attention to the sound vibration of Prabhupada and Guru, you will see that the interest level will increase. And also the after reading Prabhupada's purport, there is also Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur's commentary, Sarartha Darshini. Then there is Bhavartha Deepika by Sridhar Swami, Laghu Toshini by Jiva Goswami, Brihat Toshini by Sanatana Goswami. Jiva Goswami has written one more commentary called Krama Sandarbha also. There are a lot of commentaries are there, and all are available. If one studies, there is one book called as Vedic Symphony has come for Bhagavatam commentaries. All the Acharya commentaries are given very beautifully. So we would study the commentary also, apart from studying Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada is telling us, told in one of the purport in the first canto, that you have to refer to these acharyas when you are reading. Additionally, in the beginning, you first understand BV purports. After that, you go to that. So, no, probably the husband doesn't know the difference between studying a non-devotee book and studying Shastra. Shastras are Sakshat Krishna. Karma Brahmodbhavam Viddhi Brahmakshara Samudbhavam. It has come from Krishna and is Sakshat Krishna. The more you study, depending on your sincerity, the Shastras will manifest more and more reality to you.
How to get more taste in chanting to realize the sweet nectar of exchange of the Lord, the bond with the Lord.
Yeah. Therefore, I spoke to you today about method mode mellows. I will suggest you one three-part series you can hear. It's called as Prayers How to Offer. That's the title. So if you want to find that out, in my channel, just put Vandanam you will immediately get those three parts. Vandanam, if you just put the word in search, Vandanam Radheshyamdas, you write, immediately you'll get this. How did I speak this three-part series? Based on the book of His Holiness Sachinandan Maharaj. The book name of the book is Living Name. Beautiful book it is. Based on that I spoke, very, very nice it is. Actually, I read almost 6 books on Holy Name, based on which nowadays I speak many japa talks also. In my website, if you go and just put the word japa talks, you may get more than 1,000, 5 minutes. So I myself realized that unless we read about japa, unless we keep meditating about it, the quality cannot be improved. Therefore, in Pune, I speak every day on japa talk, one I speak. So books like Nectar Notion, the Holy Name, and there is one book called Japa by Burijan Prabhu. There is one Living Name by Sachinandan Maharaj. There is one another Divine Name by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And Japa Reform Notebook by Sachbudas Maharaj. Japa Talks, Japa Walks book by Sachbudas Maharaj. So many nice books. Art of Chanting Hare Krishna by His Holiness Mahanid Swami. So I have a collection of this and I keep reading and meditating and I speak Japa Talks also. So I would say that any of you feel your japa is going for a toss, I would suggest you to read these books, or you can hear japa talks. You will get a lot of help.
Disciples of Srila Prabhupada, even after not having association for many years since his departure, are still very enthusiastic about their services and continue in the same spirit even after so many years. And no matter what troubles, health or financial, they face, they are still enthusiastic. How do we, who are young, also aspire to be like that in our old age or in our whole life?
I can say two reasons. One reason is the disciples of Prabhupada, they were pure hearted and they were innocent and had a firm faith in Prabhupada. You will see that. Nowadays, what happens? People take the devotees very cheaply. They don't respect. For example, somebody is coming and giving a class, you don't take them very seriously. There is a lot of disrespect. And those who are disrespectful and are faithless and careless about association, even though it's abundantly available. Like one counselor told me, I have started a reading group, and he has 40 counselees. Only 2 people come from his counseling group. And he has got another 18 people from other places all over the world. So people from this part of the globe are hearing from this part, but they don't hear some local person available. So they take very cheaply, they take. So one of the reasons why we are not so serious like Prabhupada disciples is because we take the association for granted. And another reason is Prabhupada was a pure devotee and is a very potent acharya. And he was straightforward in his speech. Absolutely no ambiguity, no wishy-washy, no beating around the bush. Whatever was to be told, Prabhupada, cut karke. How many of you have observed that? Correct, no? Yeah. Therefore, they really had faith in him. Right? This Swamiji doesn't speak anything here, there. So, but nowadays, what has happened? Many people are trying to be too good to others. Shh, don't tell about Krishna. Shh, don't tell about Prabhupada. Shh, don't push Mahamantra. Like one fellow was conducting Ramayana for senior citizens. So he told me that I am doing Mula Ramayana. They're reading translations in Hindi. So he, Prabhuji Radheshyam, I want to invite you for the program, he said. And you can also read Ramayana and explain, he said. I asked, how long it's going on. So 2 years he has been doing it. And about 30, 40 senior citizens come for that. Then I asked him, so do you have chanting Hare Krishna? Shh. Prabhuji, Mahamantra we have not yet introduced. He said, I said, hey, there are senior citizens who are 75, 80-year-old fellows. They should not die without hearing mantra. Already they are 80 years. I said, well, Prabhuji, I have not told them about ISKCON, about Prabhupada, about Mahamantra. I have not told them. You are the first person I am going to introduce. So you also speak from Ramayana only, he was telling. I said, no. You have to allow me to sing Hare Krishna also, chant Hare Krishna. Some people are too afraid to tell about everything. They think people are too sensitive. How can we tell Krishna is God? They are worshipping Shiva. They are worshipping Durga. How can we say that? If you are going to be afraid, you will never be able to preach. So Prabhupada had a very honest, transparent, straightforward approach, and purely he presented, and the disciples had firm faith. That's why that bond has happened very strongly. In our case also bond will happen, provided we follow these two things. We get people who are faithfully connecting and associating with us, and we also present it very purely. And you can get very committed, dedicated devotees even now. Yeah. It's not that it's not possible. Whenever Prasad is ready, you can say, we will leave them. Ready? Okay, now you all can take your place, and I will answer another 5 minutes. I will answer, but you can take your place. Huh? Sankrad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Yeah. They will take Prasad, and you can chant Mahaprabhu.
Continue to do services in the service attitude when being amongst the management roles in temples. In management, there are lots of politics and disagreements involved.
You see, when you enter into management, the biggest problem is not to commit offenses while dealing with devotees. We should not become angry with devotees. We should not offend the devotees, mistreat the devotees. And when they mistreat us also, we should know how to act. So I would suggest you, in Pune, when I became a zonal supervisor, a regional secretary, I did one thing. As soon as that post was given to me, 5 places: Pune, Satara, Kolhapur, Aurangabad, and all these places, 5, 6 places. So I called all the TMCs, Temple Management Council members, about 150 of them. I conducted a course called as Managers and Leaders Training Program. So if you just put malt, Radheshyamdas, you will get it. So those 40 topics are designed based on Prabhupada's books, Bhagavatam and CC. How in management situations we should deal with. It's 2 hours lectures it is. It's 40 lectures are there. You just check, Prabhu, malt, Radheshyamdas comes, you just check it. There should be 40 lectures you should get. In that, I have dealt with not only just Shastra, but I'm real life ISKCON examples I'm giving. For example, you're taking a TMC meeting. Suddenly, one of them becomes angry, he walks out of the meeting. What to do? Or sometimes one devotee is pushing his point too much in the meeting, what to do? All those things are answered in this. Or some devotee becomes angry, or some devotee is not cooperating, what to do? Everything is answered there. Is it coming? MALT. MALT space Radheshyamdas. You put 40 lectures will come. Hindi, they are in Hindi actually. Is coming? Is coming?
Yeah,
Hindi also is there. Is 40 showing view list? It's showing 40?
Yeah.
Or if you put malt space Hindi. Huh?
Yeah, Hindi.
Correct. Yeah, correct. Those are the ones. You hear one or two, so you will find a very good examples. Actually, we have taken our Grihastha devotees and done some dramas also. Some families have done some dramas. We have shown videos also.
How do I become consistent in my services?
For that, you should have a time planning, time management. So if you are managed well with your time, you can be consistent. Fixed time for service, fixed day. Those who are not consistent in service, I would suggest you that you take 2 hours of service per week. That's all. And keep on doing it for 3 months. Then you increase your service. And some people are there, devotees, only if you give fixed time only, they will do service. If you give ad hoc service, they will have problem. So therefore, everybody should start with at least 2 hours per week, some book distribution, some kind of service.
Hare Krishna. How to improve self-determination so that I can do better in Krishna consciousness? How is everyone doing at the Pune temple?
Pune temple, I don't have to worry at all. Congregation, we have many counselors who are guiding very nicely. And that has become like one big family. Around the temple, we have 500 families are there. And determination is a very vital quality. You just put determination, Radheshyamdas, you will get. There is one lecture in Noida I had spoken that talks about how somebody who is weak can develop determination. And there is a PowerPoint. You can see that.
Do we have desires that we have not experienced yet in this lifetime, which will become a showstopper for our journey onward to spiritual world?
Good question. Huh? Okay, let us assume that your past desires are still lingering in the mind. They are stopping you from advancing. You can intensify your spiritual life and dissolve those desires. It's possible.
How may I remember Krishna in my ups and downs? During those times, I tend to seek help from people. Uh, people. Okay. During those times, I tend to seek help from people than seeking deep shelter.
Actually, when you are in trouble, run to devotees. Don't go to non-devotees. Non-devotees will give you misguidance. Huh? And devotees will guide you to come closer to Krishna, especially sincere and serious devotees. They will help you come closer. If you're going to go to, like Karna was in trouble, I mean, he's going to Duryodhana instead of going to, Krishna. Similarly, Vibhishan, he left Ravana and went to, when he was insulted, he went to Krishna. I mean, he went to Rama. So always go to the Lord and his devotees. Don't go to wrong association. Yeah.
How to study Shastra properly?
So there are 5 things to be done for studying Shastra. First is Shravanam. Instead of you reading yourself, you can also take help of somebody who has spoken. Huh? Like for example, in Pune, we have a Bhaktivedanta Raja Vidyalaya. Huh? So this Bhaktivedanta Raja Vidyalaya, BVRV we call it. So we are offering courses to thousands of 4,000 people are there who are attending classes on Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhava, Bhakti Vedanta courses. So if you have like Gauranga Darshan Prabhu is speaking in Govardhanaka village, MI, Mayapur Institute is there, IBMB is there in Vrindavan, VAH is there in Vrindavan also. So I would suggest you for studying Shastra properly, take guidance. If you want to hear from me some Bhagavatam sections, there is a website called Radheshyamdas.com. You can see in that 4 boxes will come first. 4th box is called Bhaktivedanta Raja Vidyalaya. You are getting it? 4th box is that Bhaktivedanta Raja Vidyalaya, Radheshyamdas.com. You can just see. So there I have put whatever I have spoken in Bhagavatam section. You can actually, I am also showing it also when I am speaking. It's very good. So we study, including Vishwanath Thakur, Sridhar Swami, Jiva Goswami, all commentaries are included. And if you want to hear from Gauranga Darshan Prabhu, you just put Gauranga Darshan Prabhu in website, you will get it. I mean, in the YouTube channel, you'll get. But I think Gauranga Darshan Prabhu's recordings, you will have to register, I think, for that. Then only he releases, I think, correct now? Yeah. My Pune devotee also told me, you also block all your videos and we can put it in course format. They said, I didn't agree to that. I said, somebody may not like to do the course, but they may just want to hear. So I have kept it open now. Huh? But you need to have some devotee who is speaking, and then you hear and then read Shastra. It's very easy. So 5 things to do: Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam, Pathanam, and Kirtanam. One line I'll tell you. Shravanam means hearing and reading both. And Mananam means recollecting what you heard. Huh? So by recollecting, the thought becomes reinforced. Thirdly, Nididhyasana means contemplating and developing conviction. For example, how is it relevant to my life? How is it relevant to lives of all the people of the world? Reflecting back in my life, how this happened in my life like that. That is Mananam. And then, that is called Nididhyasana. By Nididhyasana, you will develop Nitya Nitya Vastu Vivekam. You will develop that. Also, Iha Amutra Bhogadi Viragam. You will develop Vairagya from the earthly and heavenly pleasures, and you will be able to use everything in Krishna service. And so, in this way, and Nididhyasanam, and the fourth one is called Patanam, memorizing shlokas. Prabhupada says, cram my purports, Prabhupada said. And then fifth one is most important, which is Kirtanam. You have to explain what you heard. Like today I explained to all of you. So by explaining to you, I am also hearing and learning. Akhyatani apyaditani, Bhagavatam says. Reading alone is not enough, Prabhupada says. You have to read, relish, remember, recollect, and repeat to other people. By these five things, you develop.
I feel like I have wasted my life so far. Do I still have enough time to go back in this lifetime? And if yes, what should I do?
Very humble devotee, huh? Actually, Hari Hari Bifle Janama Gavaino. Or Bulia Tomare. So it's very good realization of this devotee. Once His Holiness Bhaktisant Maharaj, he said, you can begin bhakti anytime. Then he said, Parikshit Maharaj began in the womb only. You know, he saw the Lord. Prahlad also started from the womb. And Dhruva Maharaj started at 5 years of age. Either he said. Bharat Maharaj, he started when he was a young man, prime of youth. And Dhritarashtra started at the fang end of life. He spoke about each of them. So, any time in your life you realize I wasted my time, start immediately.
How do we understand the compassionate heart of Shiva from the Samudra Manthan pastime? How does that apply in our life?
Yeah. Yeah. Lord Shiva actually wants to see the living entities become Krishna conscious and go back to Godhead. But if the halahal pervades the universe, they all will die and they will lose the opportunity of the human body. So by drinking the halahal, he is giving them chance to extend their human life and use the time for enhancing Krishna consciousness. That's how Shiva is saving them. And we have to see examples like Prahlad or Shiva or Nityananda, Haridas Thakur, Vasudev Leper, Vasudev Datta, or Prabhupada says even Jesus. They all had a compassionate heart. From them we should learn. Ramanuja also.
In micro families nowadays, there is so much less trust among family and relations, especially when young adults not having motivation to own their life is a big worry for immigrant parents. Their kids' settlement is a worry, and how to find path and purpose in this busy life. What do you suggest to struggling parents?
Actually, even if children are not cooperating, the parents should become very Krishna conscious, I would say. You make sure you go to the weekly programs like Davaji Prabhu is doing, and also read Ramayana yourself. Reading Ramayana, Mahabharata, and Srimad Bhagavatam. That will increase your maturity. Then you will know how to handle the children. Apart from this, I would suggest you to read one book called as Art of Parenting, where we have taken articles by many Prabhupada disciples. We have a very good book in Pune available. If you want to get the book, you can go to Google and put voice publication. Voice publication you put, and then it will give you the link. And then if you order them, they will ship it to you. The name of the book is Art of Parenting. For any parent want to learn how to raise the children, that book is good. This one is Romapad Maharaj has written article. Urmila Mataji has written article. Many have written. Gopal Maharaj has written article. Radheshyam has written article also. Many have. I also wrote one article from my life also. So there are about 20 authors of that book who wrote that. Very nice book it is. So Vedic, it's called as Art of Parenting. Apart from that, I would suggest you to take guidance from Arudha Mataji's books also. She has written a book called as Art of Parenting, very nice book. And she has brought 2-3 volumes of Bhagavatam, how to teach also. So one thing is, when any parent feels that the children are not very Krishna conscious, you become Krishna conscious first. You be the change what you want to see in them. And then whether they pick up or not is up to them, but you can pick up. I have finished. Hari Bol. Prabhupada ki